On to Mission 5, Yellow Bungee Choo Choo Hell, aka Do the Locomotion. For this one, we have an easier route and a harder route. The easier route, pretty much anyone can learn to do pretty quickly, and it's still relatively fast. The harder route requires some bungee finesse and takes a while to practice and learn. It will save you about 30 seconds or thereabouts, which is not a crazy amount of time. It's just something you would need to get the toppest of the top times. So it's up to you which method you want to work on and practice, but we'll go over both of them. And one preliminary video to check out my walking and jumping tutorial video, because I'm going to talk about skip walking, and I'm also going to talk about edge pixel behavior probably at some point. So check that out. Link is in the description, and let's get on with it. This is a collect the crate mission, so we got to collect the carpet bomb crate in the lower right corner of the map. The only way we can do that is to make our way over the train, get to the jetpack, and then jetpack our way there. We don't have much in the way of weapons. All we have are fire punches and bungees to start off with. Other weapons are on a delay. So right off the bat, we just want to forward jump, skip walk, collect the blowtorch crate, face left, and do a backflip. And you want to kind of practice that backflip. It can be pretty annoying to get. You just want to think about the position of your worm being the same every time. We torch through the tree, backflip up to collect the girder crate, and we want to end our turn right here to the right of the tree so that we can just backflip immediately onto the tree again. The reason we want to end our turn there is so that this guard will skip go. If we stay on the tree, he may not do that actually. So right away, do a backflip, walk left just a little bit, and place a girder that's upwards and sloped a little to the right. And you can just place it at a height that is sort of at the top of your backflip. So just the maximum height that your backflip will reach, and it'll work out fine. You can walk to the top of it and just forward jump. And if you're fast enough, you can forward jump twice. This artillery worm is going to skip go. And then on our turn, we want to just start by forward jumping twice. And we get to the top of the circly bit and then just start nudging right until you see your worm's tail go from sloped to flat. And once you're at this position, you can just forward jump safely. And then just get to the right edge of the bell and forward jump again. And that's a great way to ensure you won't get caught by the mine. Okay, now we want to forward jump once we're at the edge of this yellow part of the caboose. And then we just bungee down here. Get a little bit of leftward momentum if you can. Jetpack. Get as much speed going right over that stoplight as you can. Okay, then just use your deftness and swiftness and get down here. And then just skip go the moment you collect the crate. That saves a tiny bit of time. And that's it for the easy route. And before we get into the bungee method of doing this mission, if you're new to Worms or you just haven't bungeed all that much, I do have this practice map where you can sort of practice some long distance flings that will help with this mission. If you've practiced bungee a lot, you can just skip this part. But the goal here is just stand on this left platform and fling yourself into that capture area in the upper left, and same with that right platform. So the way bungee works, if you hold F8, have bungee equipped, you just walk off the ledge, it auto deploys, and we always want to be yo-yoing with bungee. So I'm holding down immediately. When I get to the bottom, I hold up, now I hold down, now I hold up, now I hold down, now I hold up. And I don't actually need to do that here. I could do the fling here a bit faster. I'm just showing for illustrative purposes. But this is always a good way to maintain your momentum and maintain your speed. So you keep doing that. And if you ever get snagged on something, you have to do this yo-yoing process again. So it's also a way to build up speed from zero. So we always want to keep yo-yoing sort of independent of what we happen to be doing with the left and right arrow. And the left and right arrow, we use those to just kind of get the optimum fling. So we're trying to position ourselves just to get the best fling possible and build up enough speed. And what we're really trying to do is to get it so that when we push the bungee out, we want to be above the horizontal, like right here. So that's a sign that we're going to get some really good speed. And then right here, I actually let go of the arrows. If I kept pulling in, I would actually go too far to the right. And that gets me a perfect angle, which is like above the horizontal, so I know I'm going to be coming into the wall with a lot of speed. So when you feel like you have a ton of speed incoming and you're going to want to do a fling, just make sure to hold up and right the moment that you hit the wall. So I'm holding down roughly until the end, and then I'm coming in here and holding up and right, and that's going to give me the most speed on that fling, which I missed, but that's the general way that we do it. Okay, and let's look at doing these flings just efficiently. So here, I'm just going down once, then I'm bringing in the bungee just once, and this is going to be enough to get me above the horizontal. And when you bring that in and hit the wall, it's sort of up to you as to whether you want to hold up as you're hitting the wall, or right, or up and right. Each one of those combinations is going to sort of give you a different amount of power as you bounce, so you have to adjust depending on how much power you want. And so that gives me enough momentum to get above the horizontal and just do the fling in one go. And let's also take a look at doing sort of a reverse fling. This is much more like what we're doing in the mission. So same thing as before. You want to do the same thing, so I'm holding down and right, then I pull it in, I think with just the up arrow there. Then I extend again, and I can tell that I have enough power for a fling. So I'm holding up and right now as I come into the wall. And you just have to delay hitting space a little more on those ones. And on this platform over here, this is also a lot more like the platform you're going to be bungeeing from on the mission. So it's a little harder to figure out where to bounce from. You have to make sure not to snag yourself as you do it. And this can take a few tries. But yeah, if you can get any of those flings, that's just really good practice. Now let's take a look at the more challenging bungee method of doing this mission. So we start off with a forward jump, skip walk till we collect the crate, face left, do a backflip to get up the cliff. I missed that one, so don't do that. Okay, and then once you're up the cliff, you don't have to move at all, just do a back hop, and the moment that your head connects with that tree, and you hear the tiniest bit of sound, immediately fire punch. You don't want to linger on that, otherwise you won't form that little nub, which we're going to backflip onto. So we didn't even need to kill the worm. We just need a way to get up here. So going back to that walking and jumping tutorial, if you haven't seen it, check it out. We want to get to the 4th position at the edge of this cliff. So I keep nudging left, and I go down, left, and then I know I'm at the very edge of that pixel. Then I backflip, and our fire punch has created this little nub that I can backflip onto. And one extra thing that we want to do at the end of our turn, it's just a really tiny time save. So we want to do an up jump the moment that, see that little 30 that's floating up, the worm's health, once it's about halfway from the bottom of the screen to the waves. So at the halfway point, you want to up jump roughly about there. So to explain why this is a time save at all, so the game has this thing where at the end of the turn, if there's anything moving, whether it's like a mine or a petrol flamelet or a worm, it's going to add less of a delay. So they only add a 0.25 second delay if something has been moving after the retreat time is up. But if, say, I just stood there and skipped go, they would add a 2-second delay to the end of your turn. So what you want to do is actually be moving for just the tiniest amount of time after your retreat time is up. And that actually saves up to roughly 1.75 seconds, or a little less than that. So we do the up jump, saves a little time. This really doesn't come into play hardly anywhere else in the run. There's usually just not an opportunity to do it. And also, if you jump too late, you're not really saving much time at all. So it's just a neat little thing. And of course, one other reason we stand there is so that guard will skip go. If you end your turn higher, he might not do that. So for the bungee turn, we backflip. You want to hold down and left the whole way as you bungee down. Once you're at the very bottom, right there, start holding right. And the goal is you bounce off that flat part of the tree that we fire punched away. And then right here, you kind of have to time the part where you extend. You want to extend like roughly when you get above the horizontal here. So we're extending. Then right here at the maximum bungee length, we start to pull in. So up and right. Then we bounce off the cliff. And you really have to time this release well. If you get it, you get a fling that can send you all the way to the crate. You might land a little bit right inside that bush. You might also land on top of the choo-choo, which can be bad if you land on the mine and it completely sends you to the left, but sometimes it can be good and you can still recover from there. Let's look at that one more time. Down and left, hold right, extend, bring it in with up and right, and then carefully time that release. So then on turn 2, we grab the jetpack, and we want to jetpack basically straight up. You want to get as much speed as you can, just going over that stoplight. Then we go down and to the right, and just as before, collect the carpet bomb. And once you are on the ground, press space, and then skip go. And that's it.